Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Shiravanachari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Shiravanachari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Shiravanachari Yashodanandana Yamuna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, नाम संकीर्तन की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Shloka number 9. Dharmasya hi apavargasya narthorthayopakalpate nartasya dharmaikantasya kamo labhaya hi smrutah. Dharmasya hi apavargasya narthorthayopakalpate nartasya dharmaikantasya kamo labhaya hi smrutah. Dharmasya hi apavargasya narthorthayopakalpate nartasya dharmaikantasya kamo labhaya hi smrutah. Dharmasya hi apavargasya narthorthayopakalpate nartasya dharmaikantasya kamo labhaya hi smrutah. Dharmasya hi apavargasya narthorthayopakalpate nartasya dharmaikantasya kamo labhaya hi smrutah. Dharmasya hi apavargasya narthorthayopakalpate nartasya dharmaikantasya kamo labhaya hi smrutah. Okay, word to word meaning. Dharmasya, occupational engagement. He, certainly. Apavargasya, ultimate liberation. Na, not. Arthaha, end. Arthaya, for material gain. Upakalpate, is meant for. Na, neither. Arthasya, of material gain. Dharmika antasya, for one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service. Kamaha, sense gratification. Labhaya, attainment of. He, exactly. Smritaha, is described by the great sages. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to the sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. Purport. We have already discussed that pure devotional service to the Lord is automatically followed by perfect knowledge and detachment from material existence. But there are others who consider that all kinds of different occupational engagements, including those of religion, are meant for material gain. The general tendency of any ordinary man in any part of the world is to gain some material profit in exchange for religious or any other occupational service. Even in the Vedic literatures, for all sorts of religious performances, an allurement of material gain is offered, and most people are attracted by such allurements or blessings of religiosity. Why are such so called men of religion allured by material gain? Because material gain can enable one to fulfill desires, which in turn satisfy sense gratification. The cycle of occupational engagements includes so called religiosity followed by material gain, and material gain followed by fulfillment of desires. Sense gratification is the general way for all sorts of fully occupied men. But in the statement of Sutta Goswami, as per the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam, this is nullified by the present shloka. One should not engage himself in any sort of occupational service for material gain only, nor should material gain be utilized for sense gratification. How material gain should be utilized is described as follows. उमज्ञानतिमिरान्धश्ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So this second chapter of first canto is a very amazing chapter. Almost all the shlokas are very important, and now of course all the shlokas of Bhagavatam are important, but each shloka here is having a lot of conclusive truths, that is actually established. So in the previous shloka, we saw that occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. So there is different kinds of arthas, that are there. That is the gains. So which is called as dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. So like which is called which is called as the purusharthas. So which is the goals of the people who are engaged in the different kinds of activities. And then so even beyond moksha is the concept of prema, so which is called as the panchama purushartha, so which is the thing that is to be aimed at. So like Srimad Bhagavatam clearly is a book which is helping people to aim at the highest perfectional goal. So that is what all of us are trying to practice. And here, it is mentioned that occupational duties, occupational activities a man performs, so that should be, ultimately resulting in that, developing attraction for the Supreme Lord. And in today's shloka, we see all occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. So the word that is used is apavargasya. So apavarga means, so like, the Pavarga, so which is called the materialism. So Pavarga means, in the Sanskrit alphabet, there is Pavarga. So Pa, Pa, Bha, Bha, and Ma. So this is, uh, what is that it represents? Parishram, Fena, Vyartha, huh? Bhaya and Mrityu. Okay. So these are all the characteristics of the material life, So Parishram, um, like Ba, still I'm not Virtha. Huh? Okay. So this is like, this is the sum total of all the, material engagements. So like, a lot of Parishram that is there. So like a lot of endeavor that a person has to put, in the material activities. So, and one may say like, in Krishna conscious activities also we are putting a lot of endeavor. No parishram idhar bhi hota hai. And no book distribution or even the follow up and doing programs and things like that. So then how we can say like, this also looks like material activity, no? Because so much parishram is there. So Bhakti Vaibhav students have a very nice answer. Recently we wrote in, no, or we studied in the last this one. What is the answer? अरे भूल गया. So what is the answer? Even in, devotional service also, like the other yoga systems, they have to undergo a lot of endeavor. So no, but then, in devotional service also one may say like here also a lot of endeavor is there. So but then it is blissful. It is compensated with. अब याद आ रहा है वो क्वेश्चन? वो क्वेश्चन प्रिपेयर ही नहीं किया. Chance. So like, this is, it is compensated, with, like satisfaction, in the service of the Lord, so which is not available in the other kinds of activities. No, there is only parishram. And so definitely people actually attain some kind of happiness in the material activities also. So but then, that satisfaction is limited, and it is not going to satisfy the soul completely. No, it is going to give definitely satisfaction. So in this material world, people have different kinds of satisfaction. So like, eating nicely, like, all the hotel eateries and all these things are there. So people are, all the time hanging around in such places. And then intoxications, various kinds of intoxication is there. And then, like people definitely, derive some happiness in union with the opposite sex. So all these things are definitely, there is happiness and satisfaction that is there, but that is not going to satisfy the soul completely. Still, after engaging in that even for prolonged period of time, so there is going to be like dissatisfaction. So like, there is one, nice story of, Devayani and, who's the king, who married with Devayani? Yayati Maharaj, no? So Yayati Maharaj and Devayani, so they have, the best of the kinds of enjoyment for, like a very long period of time. So after that, both of them came to a conclusion. So this enjoyment doesn't have any, satisfaction. And then, both of them decided to perform tapasya, for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. So this is how we see that. Now this material sense gratification, can definitely give happiness, and beyond that, like, the liberation can definitely give even more higher degree of happiness. So even there, we see that, like, aruhe gacchena param padam tada padanti ada. So like, a person cannot, be satisfied even in the stage of liberation, which is like unlimited happiness. So even there, he cannot be like completely satisfied. So sometimes, this example is given. A small child is taken to an exhibition or some marketplace, and the child is asking for various different things for him to be happy, and all of that is like bought and given to him, and then suddenly he loses the hand of his father, and then he's crying. So then people are trying to pacify the child, saying no, see, like all this kilona and everything is there, no, be happy, satisfied. So but then no, he's all these things which can offer him happiness is now no more, no giving happiness. So he can only be happy if he get reunited to his parent. So in the same way, we may get any amount of happiness, but until unless we are reunited with the Supreme Lord, it is not going to satisfy us. Nothing else is going to give satisfaction to the heart completely. So we will always feel that gap. We'll always feel something is missing. Because we are not in our natural position in perfect engagement in the service of the Lord. So now here this dharma sehi apavargasya narto arthaya kalpate arthayopakalpate. So here it is mentioned occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. No, so that is the this one. So like not for pavarga, it is supposed to be apavargasya. So like occupational engagements are meant for getting ultimate liberation. And liberation means, so whenever the Srimad Bhagavatam, the concept of liberation comes, it is not about the mukti, which is generally talked about, which is the result of the jnana yoga. So, but this is about no muktir hitva anyata rupam swarupena vyavasthiti. So like so that is being situated in one's own swarupa and being engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord. So that kind of a mukti is talked about. So all occupational engagements are certainly meant for that. Here in the previous shloka also it is mentioned that all occupational duties will be useless labor if it doesn't provoke no attraction towards the message of Supreme Lord. So in that context, we can safely see that the liberation that is talked about here is talking about the ultimate, this one about being engaged in the service of the Lord. Liberation in loving devotional service. So, and they should never be promoted or they should never be performed for material gain. So now, when it is, anyway, Prabhupada talks in detail in the purport. So they should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. So, like there are two things that are mentioned. So one is what is the result of dharma? So is artha, no? So like the what is that? Like you will get piety by executing dharma, and then the result of piety is you will get some tangible things, benefits out of it. So now here it is mentioned the dharma should not be performed for material gain. And so like that is one key thing. So dharma should be performed for what purpose? In the previous shloka it is established dharma should be performed so that we develop attraction to the message of Supreme Lord. And here this converse is mentioned, the dharma should not be performed for getting like or here it is again mentioned that dharma should be performed only for ultimate liberation and not for getting material gain. This is mentioned here. And then furthermore, so this what is the next point mentioned is, if at all if you get some material gain, so what should you do with that material gain? So it is mentioned you should not use it to cultivate sense gratification. So you should not use it to gratify your senses. Rather, you should use it in the service of the Supreme Lord. So that is the proper way of doing our occupational duty. And occupational duty should be performed for ultimate gain of liberation and not for material gain. Even if you get some material gain, it should be used in the service of the Supreme Lord. It should not be used to cultivate sense gratification. So these are the two important things that are mentioned. So now purport, we have already discussed that pure devotional service to the Lord is automatically followed by perfect knowledge and detachment from material existence. So this is one important shloka that we might have read few shlokas before, that Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Ashu Vairagam Jnanam Chayada Haitukam right? So in the seventh shloka that we studied, so like by rendering devotional service unto personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires costless knowledge and detachment from the world, right? So this we discussed in detail. Just like when we get the darkness. What is the darkness? Darkness means our desire to engage the senses in the sense objects. No, the desire for sense gratification is darkness. And what is called as the light? Light means to see everything as part and parcel of Krishna, and everything should be utilized in the service of Krishna. No, that is called light, right? So now, when Bhakti Yoga is performed and when the heart is getting purified, simultaneously light is happening. So that means we are able to see everything as part and parcel of Krishna, and simultaneously, we become detached, from the material things. So here now, attachment means we think that we are the master of everything that we have. So when we get the clarity that Krishna is the master of everything that exists, so then naturally, like we develop detachment from those things, right? So this knowledge and detachment are it's directly proportional to each other. If knowledge increases, detachment also increases. No, if knowledge decreases, detachment also decreases, right? So if light is more, then the darkness no reduces, so if, like it's converse, no, it is true. So in this way, like we see that by execution of devotional service, perfect knowledge arises and detachment from material things also arises. And this many times we compare with the eating process, just like when you eat, tushti pushti and shuddhapaya happens. Like you get satisfaction, nourishment, and reduction of hunger. So how much satisfaction of eating you get, that much of reduction of hunger also happens. So in the same way, how much knowledge you gain, so that much you will develop detachment as well. So this means now, if we like know a lot of shlokas, if we can give nice class and things like that, and then we are not able to develop detachment, so that means what erudition that we are able to display, that is not considered to be knowledge. So knowledge is something different from like so what we can keep in memory. So knowledge is something that is that should be resulting in detachment, and knowledge is something that should result in attachment to Krishna. No, that is considered to be knowledge. How much we have developed attachment to the holy name, how much we have developed attachment to hearing of the message of Krishna, so that shows the degree of knowledge that we have got. And then how much we are detached from material things, that shows the degree of detachment. That's the sign of knowledge. So okay, so but there are others who consider that all kinds of different occupational engagement, including those of religion, are meant for material gain. So generally in this world, everybody is like talking about what's the profit. So one time, like when we were looking for land, we met one landlord, and then we told that like, why not you donate some piece of land? So then he told that no, first let Lord give me, so then I will give it to Lord. So, so like already you have so much land, that is given by Lord. I worked hard and I got it. So like Buddhuta, so he could not able to understand. So anyways, like many times people say like no, first let the Lord give, so then I will give. Is it right argument? Hmm? So first, if we give to the Lord, some punya will happen, and then no, maybe we will get something. So it is like even when Prithu Maharaj, when he appeared in the scene. So before him, King Vena, he had spoiled a lot of things, and no, all adharma was happening, and no worship of the Lord was happening, and things like that. And natural resources, just like now, no water is not there now. So at that time, water, rains, everything had got stopped. So because of the sinful activities of the king, and because king is sinful, like everybody is like following the sinful path. So then so after King Vena has been killed, and then Prithu Maharaj, he took the office. So that time, like everybody were like all the citizens and everybody, so everybody were coming and giving nice gifts to the king. So then after king was pleased, so then they asked the king, so we don't have anything, so please arrange for grains, no food and things like that and all. So then a question may come that पहले उन लोगों के पास कुछ भी है ही नहीं था. So but then they were coming and offering gifts to the emperor. So like how is it how does it work? So this is how this one is ways. So when Sudama was not having anything, and then so he became rich. Now how did he become rich? So first of all, he offered whatever he has, minimum, bare minimum. Even that he actually took an offer to Krishna. So that is how we will be able to like flourish. So if we think whatever we have to preserve, and whatever we don't have, we have to exploit and उसको खींच के like हमारे पास रख लेना चाहिए. So that is a sign of what is that, degradation. So if we actually want to make things glorious, if we want to make things thriving, so in whatever we have, it should be used in the service of the Lord. So nothing should be kept, this one. So one of the ideas of Srila Prabhupada was, you collect nice funds and you utilize all the funds in Krishna's service. Don't save anything. So that was like Prabhupada's formula. Like everything used in Krishna's service. No, so that is a simple accounting system. So जो कुछ भी आ रहा है सब कुछ भगवान का सेवा में खत्म कर देना चाहिए. So then what happens for tomorrow? Don't worry, like Krishna will supply. So that was this one. So whatever comes, use it fully in Krishna's service. So then it is sign of richness. That is how a person becomes super rich. Everything that he utilizes in Krishna's service, what will happen? He'll get so much punya. So then if he gets punya, like automatically things will come. Like so much more facilities may come. So that is the sign. That is the way like devotee should work. So everything that he has should be utilized in Krishna's service. So but common people, they will think that like material gain is the ultimate goal. So material gain is what for which like they will perform all the activities. Every transaction they will see the profitability. So always they are looking for profitability. The general tendency of ordinary men in any part of the world is to gain some material profit in exchange for religious or any other occupational service. Any activity they do, so they want to gain something in return. Even in the Vedic literatures, for all sorts of religious performances, an allurement of material gain is offered, and most people are attracted by such allurements or blessings of religiosity. So even Vedic literatures also like, so it's like, a mother tries to feed small child, like कुछ भी बोल के like खिला देते हैं. The child is not willing to eat, so कुछ भी बोल के खिला देते हैं. In the same way, so the scriptures also is like that. So you do some religious activity, and you will get purification of heart. So then the living entity or the people say like no, that is okay, like no, that is all, no, whether I get or not, it doesn't matter, but what material gain I will get. Okay, no, I'll tell you, like no, you get this material gain, you perform this religious activity. So ये बच्चों को खिलाने जैसा like so some allurement is given, and then he is being induced to perform some religious activity. So that is how people are kept in the bounds of dharma. So otherwise people will be like doing all sorts of adharmic activities. So the dharmic activities also give some allurement of material gain, right? So most people are attracted by such blessings and religiosity of religiosity. So even why are such so-called men of religion allured by material gain? Because material gain can enable one to fulfill desires, which in turn satisfies sense gratification. So this cycle of occupational engagement includes so-called religiosity followed by material gain, and material gain followed by fulfillment of desires. So sense gratification is the general way for all sorts of fully occupied men. So everybody who are engaged in this world, everybody's ultimate goal is sense gratification. Some people, so immediate sense gratification they want, they are adharmic people, and some people, they perform religiosity, they get the piety, and out of result of piety, they want sense gratification, right? So there are dharmic sense gratifiers, and some are adharmic sense gratifiers. But all kind of occupied men, so all of them are looking for sense gratification. But in this statement, Sutta Goswami, as per the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam, this is nullified by the present shloka. So, but in the statement of Sutta Goswami, as per the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam, this is nullified. So, that is mentioned here in the shloka, it is mentioned that one should not work for material gain. So, that should not be his aspiration. So that is something that is very nicely clarified here. So now, why do people? So like we see in the fifth chapter, I think fifth chapter, um, that taseva hetu prayate tako vido. Where is that shloka? Anybody knows which the shloka number? Huh? 518. Huh. Yeah, I got. So here it is mentioned a person who are persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end which is not obtainable even by wandering from topmost planet Brahmaloka down to the lowest planet Patala. So like all places of sense gratification. Now, as far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it is to be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain misery even though we do not desire them. So, like the material sense gratification, definitely we will obtain. Whatever is part of our karma, so we will definitely attain. So, but then no, we should aspire for such a thing which is going to be permanent. No, we work hard and then we get something, and then after some time we will lose it. No, what's the point of working hard for such temporary things? So we should work hard for such things which are going to be permanent assets. No, so that is what this shloka also talks about. So people know that sense gratification is temporary. No, I will not be able to. I work hard to generate piety, and then I will get limited amount of sense gratification. So then after that, no, that sense gratification is not going to be there. So, but still, why do people work hard? No, why do people work only for sense gratification? Whereas liberation, no, if they get or if they get to the Vaikuntha Loka, no, if they get into back to Godhead, so they will get permanent assets. No, they will get no permanently. They can live in the land of God, and they can actually render service to God, and they can get so much of opulence. No, everything is there. So, but why do they not aspire for it? No, so this is because no, they have this material disease, no, bhava roga. So because of that disease, no, they look for sense gratification, though they know that it is temporary, it is not going to be permanent, and it's going to be like added with so much more miseries and things like that. But still, the because of this like disease of material existence, they will not be able to see the reality, and they will only be able to see only as much as for sense gratification. So this is their problem, and so they also don't know about the alternative. No, there is an alternative to go back to the spiritual world, even if it is explained to them. So you can go back to the spiritual world and you can enjoy very nicely, but still no, कौन देखा है सब चीज, no. So जो कुछ भी हम देख पा रहे हैं, like no, in that only like we should plan. So like these are all like told that spiritual world is there, you can enjoy and things like that. These are all post dated check. No, I will not believe in all those things, right? So but then if a person somehow or other induced to perform devotional activities, and if somehow or other if he develops sukriti, so then he will be able to put faith in these subjects, that yes, devotional service is true, the Lord is true, the supreme abode of the Lord, the Vaikuntha Loka, that is true, and no, I can actually go there and I can actually be happily situated in that place. So all these things, no, it is not possible for a person who is completely affected, inflicted by the material disease. He cannot understand these subjects. So then furthermore it is mentioned, one should not engage himself in any sort of occupational service for material gain only, nor should material gain be utilized for sense gratification. So how material gain should be utilized is described as follows. So like further shlokas, which is going to talk about. So what is a proper way to utilize the material gain? So at least this much has been clarified, that our occupational duty should not be for the purpose of material gain. And from the previous shloka it is mentioned, so all the occupational duties should be performed like the goal is that we should develop attachment to the messages of the Supreme Lord. And material gain also should not be utilized for sense gratification. So it should be utilized in Krishna's service. So with this, now we pause today's discussion. So any questions we can take?
You mentioned that even Ashtanga yogas, they also have difficulty in their practices. So we also have that. We also have our difficulty to practice. But their difficulty, I want to know, Prabhuji. What difficulty the Jnani Yogis face and the Ashtanga Yogis face?
So this, if you see Karma Yogi, he has to do all sorts of procedures. Just like before, he eats his food. It is mentioned that he should call out, like if anybody is hungry out there and things like that, and he should take care of needs and necessities of all the living entities, and he has to execute a lot of ritualistic activities, right? And in the case of King Prachinabarhi, we see that one after another, like he would perform so much of sacrifices. So, but then he is only getting the result of material gain. That is not going to satisfy him, so much. So, like the Jnana yogis and Ashtanga yogis, they perform a lot of laborious work actually. So like the activities in the mode of goodness, like amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshantirarjavam, acharya pasanam, shaucham. So like there are many activities in mode of goodness, or the activities for cultivating knowledge is there. So they will perform these kind of activities. So one thing is very clear. Prabhupada gives this example that even the king of the forest, lion or tiger, so they have to also work hard, to get his food. So it is nobody in this world, can be exempted from work. So like nobody can be like silent and this one. So everybody must work. So that is there. So that is like, but then that work, if it gives rise to attachment to the Supreme Lord, so then that gives satisfaction to the heart, and any amount of work can be performed. But if it is not developing that attachment for the Supreme Lord, so it may give some temporary satisfaction. So then we will feel the burden of that labor. So we will not feel light, in this one. So, but the devotees who are properly executing devotional service, for the pleasure of the Lord and for making advancement in Krishna consciousness, so they will feel very light. They will, even though they are engaged in heavy labor. So, but then they will feel very light because they are getting attachment to Krishna. So, because of developing attachment to Krishna, so they find it very nice, to be engaged like that.
Prabhuji, then the attachment in Jnana Yogi with Ashtanga Yogi means attachment is a factor which Bhakti Yogi which aspire for, and that is the most difficult task to accomplish. Like this, you want to say, Prabhuji?
Which is the most difficult task?
Attachment towards Krishna, developing attachment towards Krishna. So it is difficult in Bhakti Yoga.
It is difficult in Bhakti Yoga.
Bhakti Yoga.
Why?
Means my question is like what problem they face like in the process of
dilution in thinking about the Lord, dilution in developing attachment to the Lord. So difficulty is they are harassed by the desires for sense gratification and liberation. So that is the thing which is going to reduce the bliss, that they are, all of them are doing some sort of chanting, some sort of remembering of the Lord and things like that. But that is spoiled by desire for sense gratification and desire for liberation. So that reduces the happiness, for them. So when they give up those things, so then they get pure happiness which satisfies the heart. So that is their difficulty.
When they give up this tendency to cultivate knowledge and aspiration to acquire liberation, then they have to come to Bhakti, right?
What remains is Bhakti Yoga. No, the activities of Shravanam Kirtanam is there. On top of it, they are doing the activities of Jnana and activities of Karma. So if they give up, like what remains is Bhakti. So it's pure Bhakti contaminated with these things. So they were not getting that kind of satisfaction. When they remove this one, it is like sweet rice with lot of mud particles. If you remove all the mud particles, what remains is pure sweet rice. That is tasty. So till the time mud particles are there, it will not give satisfaction. तो अच्छे से एंजॉय कर रहे स्वीट रेस बीच में एक पत्थर आ गया सारा एंजॉयमेंट खराब हो गया सो लाइक दैट यस
Yesterday, actually, we had like our Vidya Bharan Prabhu. It was like that Jnani Yoga is destination towards the Vaikuntha.
What is it?
Jnani Yoga. Jnani Yoga, they are going to the Vaikuntha.
No, moksha.
Up to moksha, not in the Vaikuntha.
No. Vaikuntha means they should be engaged in devotional service, bhakti yoga.
If they are getting towards the moksha, it's a one kind of liberation. They will not fall down from.
They will fall.
They will fall.
Hmm.
You told like they will enter to the Vaikuntha.
No. Clearly here, it is not possible. Jnana yogi cannot enter into Vaikuntha.
So yeah, I heard that bhakti yoga is a. I think I heard by you bhakti within this all the yoga system of yoga ladder. Bhakti yoga is most difficult to practice.
No. It is easy to practice, but it is something like flight is more difficult to travel, or train is more difficult to travel. For traveling, which is difficult? ट्रेन इज डिफिकल्ट ना, तो इतना टाइम लगता है नो, ट्रेन में स्नान भी करना पड़ता है ना, ये सब थिंग्स लाइक दैट. सो फ्लाइट इज इजी, बट देन यू हैव टू पे मोर. So payment is more. What is the payment? You have to give up material sense gratification. You have to give up desire for liberation. That is the payment. Payment is more, but it is easy to travel. It is comfortable. बट थोड़ा पैसा ज्यादा लगता है. So what पैसा लगता है, like no, you have to give up material sense gratification. So devotional service is easy. No, but then people will not. No, ये तो थोड़ा costly है, हम ट्रेन में जाते हैं. So like that, not. So like what is that costly? Like no, it is asking me to give up material sense gratification. How कैसे दूंगा मैं? So but then karma yoga is more difficult. You have to execute so much rituals and things like that, and in spite of all these things, you will not get that satisfaction. वो सब ठीक है, like no, sense gratification में अभी भी रखा हूँ, like no, that is good. तो उधर तो वो सब छोड़ना पड़ेगा, तो like no, भयानक है. So like so that is how this one is. So if you pay more, you can be comfortable, you can easily travel and all those things. So ease of travel is there. It's easy, but then it is costly.
You mentioned about when we render service to God, so we get costless knowledge and attachment. So is Vaidhi Bhakti is enough to get detachment?
Everything will offer some level of knowledge and some level of detachment. So every activity, like karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti, in the bhakti like vidhi purvak bhakti, and the spontaneous devotional service.
Two aspects are there. One is Pancharatrika Vidhi and another one is Vaidhi Bhakti. Two are there.
No, Pancharatrika Vidhi, when you follow that itself is called as Vaidhi Bhakti, Vidhi Purvak Bhakti.
Okay.
So when you do that, so you will get some level of purification. After you get that purification, so then you can actually enter into the Raganuga sadhana. Like that. Okay. Any other questions? We have lots of time today. Okay. So if devotees have time, so then a similar purport is that 518. So taseva hetu. So like we will try to read that as well a little bit. So persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet Brahmaloka down to the lowest Patala. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it is to be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries, even though we do not desire them. So everything is automatically, materially speaking, it is all pre-planned and everything will automatically happen. Only endeavor is needed for getting the ultimate goal, which requires a particular endeavor. So every man everywhere is trying to obtain the greatest amount of sense enjoyment by various endeavors. Some men are busy engaged in trade, industry, economic development, political supremacy, etc. And some of them are engaged in fruitive work to become happy in the next life by attaining higher planets. It is said that on the moon, the inhabitants are fit for greater sense enjoyment by drinking somarasa, and the Pitriloka is obtained by good charitable work. So there are various programs for sense enjoyment, either during this life or in the life after death. Some are trying to reach the moon or other planets by some mechanical arrangement. For they are very anxious to get into the such planets without doing good work. But it is not to happen. By the law of the supreme, different places are meant for different grades of living beings according to the work they have performed. By good work only, as prescribed in the scriptures, can one obtain birth in good family, opulence, good education, and good bodily features. We see also that even in this life, one obtains a good education or money by good work. Similarly, in our next birth, we get such desirable positions only by good work. Otherwise, it would not so happen that two persons born in the same place at the same time are seen differently placed according to previous work. But all such material positions are impermanent. The position in the topmost Brahmaloka and in the lowest Patala are also changeable according to our own work. The philosophically inclined person must not be tempted by such changeable positions. He should try to get into the permanent life of bliss and knowledge, where he will not be forced to come back again to the miserable material world, either in this or that planet. So, miseries and mixed happiness are two features of material life, and they are obtained in Brahmaloka and in other lokas also. They are obtained in the life of a demigod and also in the life of dogs and hogs. The miseries and mixed happiness of all living beings are only of different degrees and quality. But no one is free from material miseries of birth, death, old age, and disease. Similarly, everyone has his destined happiness also. No one can get more or less of these things simply by personal endeavors. Even if they are obtained, they can be lost again. One should not therefore waste time with these flimsy things, and one should only endeavor to go back to Godhead. That should be the mission of everyone's life. So now, if you see in this one, there is uh, the point of whether you go to the topmost planet Brahmaloka or to the Patala Loka. So it's all place of miseries. Brahma Bhavana Loka Punaravritti Arjuna. So how many of you like to become Indra here? Huh? Nobody wants, no? So it's like, if you see a karma kandi and if you go and ask him, no, would you like to become Indra? And he will say, like, yeah, like, no, that's what I'm aspiring for. That's the ultimate goal that I want to reach to. So, how does he actually develop? And how all of you have developed this distaste to become Indra?
Because we did not heard anything, we just read Prabhupada books.
we just read Bhagavatam and Prabhupada books, and where this position is like, completely derogatory way, like, it is presented. Indra is like doing sense gratification, and suddenly, usko bomb phat gaya uska. And then, sometimes demons come and, occupy and defeat Indra and things like that. But actually speaking, Indra and the demigods, they are like always very powerful. It's hardly like demons are able to, defeat them. And those few instances when demons defeat them, so that is recorded here in Bhagavatam. And after studying that, so the devotee thinks like, "Arey, like, no, ito bekar hai." So, but if you read the Karmakanda literatures, you will see that just a ground there, it's like maybe like 1,000 times bigger ground. So that kind of a place, and it has been erected with such amazing pandal, which is made of gold, and pillars, which is made of all jewels and things like that. And in that very opulent setup, Indra is worshipped, and so many devatas are serving, and all powerful people are serving, and then all beautiful girls are dancing for him, and all sorts of sense gratification is available for him, and things like that. So then they start developing this one. So why are our devotees aspiring for better and better job? Because that is not discussed in Bhagavatam as obnoxious. So 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 it is position of Indra is not needed, but then thoda hike in the salary is needed. So because Position of Indra is chi like no, I don't want that. But better job, तो वो अच्छा है, वो मिलना चाहिए. So position of Indra is chi means like this should be like more, people should like close their nose. So it is very very obnoxious. So but then it is out of effect of studying Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam systematically says that you see like here is the greatest person. He got so much of opulence and so much of happiness and enjoyment that was there. Like Indra was like so nicely glorified. And then, on the way, Durvasa Muni came and then he offered some garland, to Indra. And Indra gave it to Airavat and Airavat put it under the feet and then it smashed. So then what happened? Then Durvasa Muni cursed. So then Indra became poor. So like, so the scene is described like that. So nice. Like, itna badhiya position mein tha, like, ekdam gir gaya. So in this way, like then it is spoken about that Indra himself tells, and then sometimes it is spoken about him that what is the use of all this opulence? It just gives so much of intoxication, and out of intoxication I commit a mistake, and then dard karke like no, udhar se girna padega. So it is like so these kind of things are mentioned like. That is why only in Srimad Bhagavatam and the devotional literatures, we will find, this kind of statements that, even in the topmost Brahma Loka, so there is no much of happiness, So it's all places of misery. So, but other Vedic literatures, which is talking about the situation in the material world, they will be simply glorifying all these things, Heaven though, like, they will be glorifying so much. And Brahma Loka, like, they will be glorifying like as if nothing more than that is there. So they'll be glorifying all those things. And small star somewhere they will put, which nobody will notice. So like that. So that is how this one is there. And people are, that's why they are mad after all these things. So but then when people actually are trained in the Bhagavad Dharma, so they are trained for like looking for ultimate happiness. That is the it is very nicely put that endeavor should be made only for like advancing in Krishna consciousness. We should not make endeavor for any other material things. So that is very nicely put forward here. So like one is induced to go to moon planet or some higher planets for by performing pious activities, and then they will get somarasa or they will get amrita to drink, and they will be like very happy and enjoy all sorts of sense gratification, right? So now after being trained in Krishna consciousness for good amount of time, so even if a devotee is offered sense gratification, if he gets the desire for sense gratification and if he gets it, he cannot enjoy peacefully. So like I think sometimes I told this one, like one funny story, like this happened in some Western country. So one devotee, like he would come to the temple and nicely serve, and then after some time he will vanish. And when he's vanished from the temple, so that in the temple, like they would get phone calls, and and in this phone call, like this person will blast and blaspheme all the devotees there, and you will cut the call, and then after some time, like this devotee will show up again. So it took some time for devotees to understand that this is the same person. After, when he is not there in the temple, he is calling and blaspheming all the devotees. So then they caught him and they asked him, like, why are you doing like this? So then they are telling, he told, see, like I go out with the desire of sense gratification. I want to enjoy the material world, so I don't want to do devotional service. But when I go there, like I am not able to peacefully enjoy. All these teachings is coming to my mind. So then I heard that Vaishnava Aparadha, if I commit, like then I'll get nice sense gratification desire. So then I'm calling and I'm blaspheming devotees. But still it is not working out. So then I come back and render devotional service. And when I'm rendering devotional service, I'm thinking about sense gratification, and I'm going out. When I'm doing sense gratification, I'm thinking about devotional service. I'm coming back, so I'm neither here nor there. So then devotee is like, अच्छे से उसको brain wash करके उसको devotional service में engage किया. So this is the thing that we have heard sufficient this one about no sense gratification. So like a devotee goes out and no he wants to do like pure sense gratification. No, it is not possible. So because no, it is once they have tasted even a little bit of Krishna consciousness, so it is not possible no for them to execute no devotional execute no activities for sense gratification no until unless he commits some serious offense and which lord also takes it as offense no so then only like he will again develop desire for sense gratification you know okay. So any other no any questions or things like that, otherwise we will take some um, no like points from devotees and carry on. Mhm.
सो आपने जब इंद्रा के बारे में बोला था तो उसके लिए लाइक ब्यूटीफुल गर्ल्स डांस करते वगैरह वगैरह.
So generally एक मेरा क्वेश्चन है for me only कि one of the Prabhuji ने बोला था compared to women men are more like pious or bhagyasali है to do the Krishna conscious activity. So many of the places they like mention for distraction for the men is a beautiful woman or something like that. So I just want to understand why everywhere mention the like distraction कुछ भी होता है तो उसमें वुमेन का एग्जांपल दिया जाता है like नामाचार्य or that thing one example is. So just I want to understand that part.
No, for men, women is the most dangerous. This one, and for women, men is most dangerous. So why it is so? Because this particular combination can actually bring about the desire for sense gratification in a very strong way. So now we are trying to treat the disease of sense gratification, and then we want to develop the desire for rendering service to Krishna. So that is our whole project. And in this project, what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to engage in activities which can revive our original tendency to render service, and we should not again and again like aggravate the disease. Just like fever ho gaya, so then you're asked to take medicine, which will bring you back to the normal condition, and you're asked not to take ice cream or cool drinks and things like that. So why this is there? So because you're advised to take something which will make you better, and you're advised to refrain from something which will make you more diseased. So now the disease is sense gratification, desire to enjoy separately from Krishna. And this like when man is in the close proximity with women, so then his desire for sense gratification is completely aroused. Like how much ever he may think that everything that exists is part and parcel of Lord, it is meant for Krishna's enjoyment, but the moment he see the opposite sex, I should enjoy this particular thing, this should become my property. So this desire, the disease again gets aggravated. The disease again gets aggravated. So that is a problem. So that is why it is considered to be a distraction. And why is it so, like all the time like it is talked about women as a distraction for men? So scriptures also talk about men as a distraction for women as well. So like so sometimes that is mentioned. So but this gradation of species that is there. So in that, definitely the male body is considered to be a more evolved body. So this is not in any way to put down like what is it women or something like that. So it is a natural gradation that is there. So like the same living entity, like we also can possess a female body in the future, and they also can possess a male body in the future. So it is not about like who's better and things like that. So it is about there is facility for practicing Krishna consciousness is much more better in the male body. And sometimes it is also seen, like it is also explained that maybe females are like more apt for practicing devotion. So even that is also mentioned. So in what angle these two things are mentioned? So like in the female condition, so like according to their psychology, so they are very simple to convince to practice devotional service, and once they are convinced, they will put all their emotions and this one devotion in the service of the Lord. They will do all that very nicely. So, and in the female body, like one disqualification or one this one that is there is they're more prone for sense gratification. So like if you see like the moment man and women gets united, so immediately there is house, there is property, there is this one, and all these things are expanding, by the capacity of the women. So it is that is why the women is called as three. Three means like one who expands things. So like the material, they will have a lot of material. This one, material attachment. We need to have this much of this one and this much of security and and stuff like that. So but then there are possibility that they can also practice devotion and they can also become like even more than men also they can actually become. So it's all possibilities are there. So but the default, the default condition of the like body of a male and the body of female, so that is what we are discussing. But then they can raise above the default condition and they can actually become much better also. They can win over these lower tendencies and they can come up by the practice of devotion. So why is the male body considered to be better in its default condition? Is by default, there is a good amount of detachment that can actually be available in the male body if he is convinced. And then by default, the male body is supposed to be more logical, and more apt for sense control. So that is the this one of the so that is why that is considered to be a better body to start with. So but then even possessing male body, somebody can ruin their devotional practice. And even in the female body, like somebody can perform very nice devotion and they can excel very nicely. So all that possibilities are there. So it is only the default condition comparison. So but otherwise, like they have, both of them have sky is the limit. Both of them have ample opportunity to progress in Krishna consciousness.
Hare Krishna Guruji. So recently, what few FI people noticed for in level. So they were asking, they came here and they're practicing little bit and they came to know that we should not lie, we should not cheat others, all those things. But they said that रोज ही तो एग्जाम में तो लोग ऐसे बाजी मार लेते हैं, हमसे आगे चले जाते हैं. तो they feel guilty if they people kick them and they move front. अगर से हम ये सब कुछ कर लिया बोलते हम तो पीछे फट जाएंगे. तो
So why not we study and get good marks?
no, मेरे को मीन्स मेरे वो मुझे ऐसा बोले हैं तो मीन्स मैं बोला we should not do like that, we have to chant and we have to study. But how to remove the guilt and what they are practicing.
See, now you can explain that if you do cheating and then you pass in the examination, definitely you will get a better mark. But because of you lack piety, you are accumulating adharma, so you will have to suffer in your future life. So better that you perform something which is dharmic, even though you may get some less marks now. So definitely you will get a better future. Because dharma will always protect you. So dharma will always give. So now his idea is that if I get better marks, then I'll get a better job, then I'll get better sense gratification. So but even if sense gratification is the goal, if you perform dharmic activities, you will not cheat, you will not lie and things like that. So then in the future, you are going to have a better opportunity for sense gratification, even if it is for sense gratification. So when for devotion, so more we engage in like adharmic activities, it becomes very difficult for us to like execute devotional service. So like that. Krishna. Yes, bro.
Having material desire, if we worship,
Krishna.
having material desire, if we worship Lord Vishnu, keeping goal material desire only. So in that case, is it bhakti yoga and
It's karma yoga.
karma yoga? And will it arouse devotion?
It will definitely give some level of purification of heart. So this is generally called the karma kanda. This one where karma kanda also like Vishnu Aradhyate. this one. So like the center is to perform Vishnu, to perform worship to Vishnu. So but then the desire is I want to have material benefits. So then it is called karma kanda. So and karma yoga means like center is Vishnu, so worship of Vishnu, and then the desire is that I want, like the problem is that I'm caught up with the sense gratificatory desires. So, but then I want to get out of it. So then if he executes the same angas of this one, the activities of karma yoga, so he's called as karma yogi. Whereas his desire is now to get out of that. No, he's stuck. He's understanding he's stuck and he wants to get out of it. So another person that you told about is he's not thinking that he's stuck. No, I want sense gratification and I'll worship Vishnu for it. So that is karma kanda. Okay. So now devotees can share a few points from whatever we have discussed and we can close.
So you mentioned that knowledge is directly.
Harikshetra Prabhuji, so you said that knowledge is directly proportional to detachment. So through knowledge, you should simultaneously avoid detachment. The more you acquire knowledge, the more detachment will be there. They mentioned Harikshetra.
Extension to this point is knowledge should result in detachment to material things and also should result in attachment to the aspects of Krishna consciousness.
Yes. Let him say something.
So I realized that from your lecture, bro, when jnana is perfect knowledge, and detachment, where are also go with that?
You want to say something?
So you told Prabhuji is nice class, and starting you told Parishrama is compensated with satisfaction in Krishna consciousness, and soul satisfaction is not there in outside. And the desire to engage in sense gratification is darkness. We should think about that.
Hare Krishna. One should perform devotional dharmic activities only for the detachment from material activities and attachment towards the Krishna, not for material gain.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much for a nice class. So many wonderful points. So this point which I liked, that even after hearing number of times Bhagavatam classes, this is temporary, everything is still having that attachment. It's only because of that bhava roga disease that this is very very strong. So the only solution is devotional service. So by which we can get knowledge and also simultaneously detachment from this material world and getting attachment to Krishna. So this devotional service is the only solution for this bhava roga. Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. The point is, like most like endeavor should be put for Krishna consciousness and service, devotional service, and not for material gain or sense gratification.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, you mentioned about everyone has this understand happiness with this body, and no one can get more or less this simply by personal endeavors. So whatever efforts we are putting in, we should put in spiritual activities and material activities that is confined to limited number of limited values. That is function. So Hare Krishna, Prabhu, you mentioned like to induce people to perform like dharmic activities. That is an element of like they will be getting material gain. Rasta has mentioned, and so that's why that's how they get the piety. Otherwise, they will be like doing adharmic. And one thing initially mentioned like the prema is the pancham purushartha, and Bhagavatam is clearly describing about to get the perfect. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thanks for the class. You mentioned that the darkness and light. Darkness means like using everything for sense gratification, and also it means like using everything for Lord's sense gratification. And also how much knowledge you will gain, that much detachment you will learn. And also our recognitional duty is should not be used for material sense gratification. Hare Krishna.
Rishabh,
So one point was that like some people have tendency to for gaining some material benefit they do adharma, just like cheating exam you said. But then ultimately we will get material benefit also we will get with pious activities only. And if we are doing it in another way, even if we get some number or something that time, but eventually it will bring miseries only. So that part.
हरे कृष्णा। सो आपने एग्जांपल दिया था ट्रेन एंड एयरप्लेन का। सो रिलेटेड टू दैट थिंग, इफ यू वांट टू लाइक progress in bhakti yoga, then you have to do more devotional service. That's what you told. You have to do more costlier thing.
Costly, no. So the cost is give up sense gratification and liberation, desire for liberation. Mhm.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So you were telling that if somebody is very poor, what he can offer. So you were telling one example, sharing that temple land. So you were telling that I will get more and then only I will donate. The thing is, if somebody does not possess a lot of things, so whatever he has, he can engage in the service, and that will generate a lot of piety, lot of money.
Mm. What happened? Oh.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So you have mentioned that in the Vedic literature there are some sorts of religious activities are there which people are quite inclined to do it because they want material gain. That is what they like to do.
Mm. Yes.
So you told like however is the cause of this suffering in this material world, and the occupational duty is to develop the attachment towards Lord Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much for the nice class. We saw that how fortunate we are to come to Bhakti Yoga because most of the people are stuck in this karma kanda and so various examples also, and how we are lucky that Bhagavatam, we got this Bhagavatam where it always sits all these things becoming Indra Brahma, but other books like Vedas, they all glorify these things, and 99% of Vedas is full of that. But we are fortunate to get this Bhagavatam and Prabhupada books which has enlightened that kind of knowledge within us that now at least we don't aim for such kinds of goal or aim is
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So you mentioned about this power. Everybody has to work in material world. So you an example of the king of the forest, lions and tigers. They also has to work for their survival. So everybody has to work here. So even the devotees also work, and they do so all sort of devotional activities. They also work hard. But these activities will give you them complete satisfaction. But it's not there in the other material activities. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the wonderful class. So what I learned is, uh, so engagement in material activity may give happiness, but anyways prolonged such activity will lead to dissatisfaction. What will give us eternal satisfaction is devotional service. Even if it might give some material benefits, we should not get inclined to it. We should do a devotional activity for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you for the class. One example I like about the child and the father. If the child lost his father, in spite of giving all the things to him, he will be not satisfied. And like in a similar way, if we strive materially, then we will be not be satisfied. We will be only satisfied when we are in when we come in like attachment to Krishna or when we do some devotion. Hare Krishna, thanks for such a nice class. Since we all has to work in this world, and whatever we do endeavor and whatever that we gain something, if we put if we use that for sense gratification, if we use that for sense gratification, then definitely we will be dissatisfied and burdened. But if we start inculcating the consciousness so that we should use that to please Krishna, then we will feel light. Hare Krishna, thank you for the class. So, like I like the point that we should always avoid the thinking that let Lord give me first, then I will utilize what Lord is giving me. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the class.
So Prabhuji, you have given the example of Yayati Maharaj and Devyani. So even if a person have all sorts of happiness, but they cannot satisfy.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the class. I like the fact that Bhakti Marg is the easiest mark among all the marks that is missing.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. My learnings were that whatever occupation that we are doing in this world, we should not be doing it for our sense gratification. Instead, we should be devote all that to the service of Krishna. Secondly, we get attached we get attached to material sense gratification only because we think that those things we own. When our attachment with Krishna increases, then we realize that it is all belong to Krishna, and that is when detachment from material things happen. Yeah.
ठीक है ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय गौर भक्त वृंद की जय शिल प्रभुपाद की जय
Thank you, Prabhuji, for such wonderful realizations. So let's thank Prabhuji by loudly chanting Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,